Freezing. Okay, part 2, just waiting for a couple of people to come on and we will get going. Now, where's my things? There they are. Okay, so we've done that. Just mark these off. Typical, doesn't work. Okay. Alright. Well, there we go. Welcome back. Okay, part 2. That hour went so fast. It's crazy. Alright. Okay, so I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. So now this next hour is going to be a lot more complicated. Okay, I did not want it to be complicated. I want it for everybody to understand, but it's dealing with multiple realities. It's going to be a mind bender. Okay, it's going to challenge your mind to think and challenge you to explore your beliefs. Okay, which is needed, and I do think you guys are ready. So this is higher consciousness learning. This is not your average what you would find in your local spiritual group on Facebook or spiritual talk. This is much higher consciousness, which requires for a much more open mind and to think. Okay, this is a thinking session. The first session was an understanding session. This is a thinking session. All right. And I'm going to be doing a lot of channeling in this one because I'm still getting my head around a lot of it. I understand it, but to really get it, like deep down get it, still I'm working that out. So I'm going to be channeling a lot of this, and this is where someone I'm sure is going to pop in and say hi. Okay, because this is where I'm at in my development, is learning all of this and learning a little bit past this. Okay, so it's going to be challenging. I'm not going to lie. So prepare yourself. All right, so I think, what do we start with? I think the multiverse, well, all three, the multiple realities, the multiverse, and timelines actually all tie into one. They're not separate. They're all together. Okay, so I'll start at the beginning. I think that'd just be easier. So we have, as we talked about in the first session, we have all your incarnations, your physical lifetimes happening at the same time. Okay, so that comes under multiple realities. Okay, now within those multiple realities of the many different incarnations, we also have multiple realities within the one incarnation itself. Now, I know I have experienced this many times over the last couple of years with giving information and receiving information. Okay, I receive information for multiple realities, and that's why some of the information regarding med beds in the RV is a bit contradictory, because I'm receiving literally information for many different realities taking place all at the same time. So just like your incarnations are all happening now, all the realities are happening now, and you experience every single one of those realities. Okay, so I'll use myself as an example because it's easier. I'm sitting here now talking to you. One reality. Part of me is also doing my passion, which is riding horses. So I am also experiencing that. Maybe not consciously aware of it, but I am experiencing that at right this time, right now. I'm also maybe a lawyer, so maybe I'm in a courtroom somewhere. Well, not Sunday, but you get the drift. So that is also a multiple reality. Okay, so that is something else that I'm doing. Also, I may be a duck, which just flew by. I'm also experiencing that, but not consciously. Now, when you tap into the higher vibrations, and you can do this through meditation, you can consciously jump into each reality or several of the realities that you are experiencing. Because what is said is that every major turning point in your life, or major pivot point, as we'll say, when you have to make a major decision, or there is a major life event that happens, you actually continue down both paths. So, for example, for myself, I never wanted to stop riding horses. I never wanted to go into the spiritual and truth community and do all this stuff. I wanted just to ride and train horses. Yet I made a choice to go into the spiritual scene for a period of time to do this work, and then at a later time merge back in with riding horses. Now, the part of me that never wanted to stop riding horses is still riding horses. Because what you have, because we're energy, we're not physical beings, we're having the illusion of a physical experience, but we're not physical, which doesn't even make sense, but we're vibration, okay? So vibration can be split and changed an infinite number of times. And remember, consciousness is not set to one person. So you are experiencing everything you wanted to in life, everything you didn't want to in life. On some minor level, you are experiencing that of what you wanted or you didn't want. But the experience you're having now, that you're experiencing consciously, is your chosen experience. So it is the focus of your conscious experience in this life. I'm really not explaining this well. It's complicated. It really is complicated. So if you meditate or dream, here's something better. Go watch Doctor Strange. Okay, the new one. Go watch Doctor Strange. People say it's evil, it's satanic. I don't care. It taught me so much, and it put all the pieces together about the multiverse, timelines, realities, all that sort of thing. It just clicked everything. It was like the last piece of the puzzle. So go watch the new Doctor Strange at the movies or wherever. You will get it. You will really get it. Watch it twice, because it's complicated, so you need to watch it a couple of times to really get it. Okay. So you can be having this experience right now listening to me. Now, a month ago, you didn't want to join this workshop, so you chose not to. A part of you was, no, I don't really want to. So a part of you that chose not to go through with this workshop is not experiencing it. You are, because the other part of you did choose it. Now, this is where everybody splits, okay? And it is the splitting of the reality, splitting of the timelines. It is not so much that I'd be sitting next to someone who's in a completely different reality that believes in COVID and all that. That is part of it. But your multiple reality, your personal multiple reality, experiences every reality possible that has been a thought of you, a thought of yours. You experience it. So if you thought, I want to go to the football game, but I don't have enough money. On some level, you do receive the money and you do go to that football game, therefore you do experience it. But that's not the focus of this particular experience that you've chosen. And remember, every single second, your consciousness is traveling through billions, B with a billion with a B, backwards today, billion with a B of different potential realities. You're experiencing every one of them. But it is the focus that you choose, which experience you choose to focus on, that determines the experience that you consciously experience. Complicated, isn't it? It is. Took a while for my head to get around it. But yeah, you experience everything. So it doesn't matter if the RV doesn't come. On some level, it comes and you experience it. It's just not the point of your focus. Okay? On some level, it doesn't come. Okay? And you also experience going through what was said to me this morning, the dark night, Earth's dark night of the soul. Rather, years of the dark night of the soul. And you experience that. Another timeline, you get more money than what you bargained for or what you thought. And instead of doing a humanitarian project, you decide to just use it as personal money and go touring around the world. You also experience that, but that's not the focus of your experience. Okay, so what you put your focus on, and this is where manifestation comes into it, where you put your focus or where your focus lies, that's the experience that you will have. So if you focus on the negative outcome is what you will experience, even though on some level you are experiencing the most high outcome possible. You're still experiencing that and everything in between. So this is why we say, watch where your thoughts go, because your thoughts create your reality. Because where your thoughts are, you're directing your focus onto those thoughts. That's what comes into your experience. Okay? So remember, you experience every reality, but you choose which reality to focus on. And they all happen at exactly the same time. Exactly the same time. Not 5 years down the track or when you come back into another incarnation. All now. Everything is in the now. Now, 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 now. Nothing is past, nothing is future. It's all now. Okay. So timelines. Okay. Now, timelines is very similar to multiple realities. Timelines is, you can change your timeline. So let's start with what a timeline is. My preferred timeline, okay, don't take this the wrong way. My preferred timeline is I get a phone call from my financier that the RV has been released, the funds have been released, and I go and create a healing center and do all that, creation, have a wonderful time. Yes, it'll probably take 15 years to build what I want to build, but hey, it'll get there in the end. That's my preferred timeline. Now, if that timeline is not what my soul's focus on, that timeline will shift. Okay. So what I'll again use myself. I always use myself in these workshops. Wind, go away. That's really cold. It's only 9 degrees or something here. It's added that wind. It feels like 3. So I'll use myself. From what I've been told is that I will not get funding for a humanitarian project because my spirit and the Alliance and the universe has a different timeline for me. So I will get to a point where the funds are about to be released or just have been released, and then my life will change into something other than what I thought or other than what I wanted. So for example, it might be going to another planet, it might be just getting personal money, it might be something totally off track that I didn't even know about. It might even be me passing away from being hit by a train or a truck or something. That is a change in timeline. So there is a point where you go on your path, where you're focusing, you're manifesting, you're doing everything that you want to and you possibly can. And then there's a point in time where your spirit or you make a decision and it shifts you completely into another timeline. Okay, so again, it's complicated and there's many variables within timelines, just as there is in multiple realities and the multiverse. Many billions and billions of potential timelines, and every single timeline exists. So if you're manifesting what you want in your timeline, you have to keep the focus of that, but you also have to be in the vibration of what it is that you're trying to manifest. So if you want the RV to happen, and I'll use that because we all do, you have to be in the vibe, and you want the RV to happen, and you want to have a healing center and to run it and to manage it and to hire staff and to heal the world and to all of this. You have to be in the vibration that you're ready for it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Because everything in the universe is timing. And it's really weird when we say that because time doesn't exist. It's a human construct. But it's a vibrational frequency. You have to be in the right vibrational frequency in order for it to manifest. Okay? And for something this large, everybody, including the planet, has to be in the right vibrational frequency for this to actually come about into physical existence. So at the moment, we're on a timeline where we're looking like it's going to happen, and it could happen any moment. But then again, something may happen from an outside source, or just something as simple as somebody changed their mind and says, no, you know, one major person in the middle of this says, no, actually, we're not ready. The timeline changes. So it could be another month, it might be another week, it might be another year, it might be another 10 years. It might not happen in your timeline, in your lifetime. It might not happen in my lifetime or my timeline, but it happens in yours. So it's very complicated, and the only thing that you can do is be in the vibration of what it is you're trying to manifest. So if you're wanting to open a center and hire people, you can't be going around judging people and telling people off and fighting and asking ridiculous questions and being really low vibe about everything. I don't believe it. I want it, but I don't believe it. It's like, how can you believe in something? How can you want something if you don't believe it? Okay, so that's where we say manifestation and focus with the correct vibration is very much needed. Okay, so if you're walking around telling people off and not being able to communicate with each other, then you're not in the right vibration to open a center. Therefore, it's not going to happen for you until you are in the right vibration. Okay? So this is really, really, really important that you get on the right timeline that you prefer. May not end up that way, but the timeline that you prefer, and get into the right vibration, or the vibrational frequency that matches what it is you want to do, what it is you're trying to manifest. Otherwise, you'll be manifesting for the rest of your life and it's not going to happen. It's all about the vibrational frequency. Now the timeline that you're on can change at the drop of a hat pin. Literally change at the drop of a hat pin, just like your thoughts change. It can literally change that quick. For example, I went to Woolworths, Coles at my old shopping centre that I've been to for the last 6 years, pretty much every day for the last 6 years. And when my brother and I walked in, everything looked different. The people looked different, the aisles looked different, the size of the place looked different. Nothing had changed. But because I have been in another frequency, a lower frequency, everything about that experience of being in my old shopping centre had changed, simply because my frequency had changed. Therefore, I was in another timeline. Okay, remember, everything is about your vibrational frequency. Everything. Okay. All right. So that's a timeline. All right, we'll do one more, and then I'll finish up with the questions. 25 minutes goes 20 minutes goes so fast, and we got quite a few questions to get through. Okay, including the ones you guys are commenting on now. So the multiverse. Okay, now what I'm about to explain, go and watch Doctor Strange. Okay, perfect movie to understand it more. Okay, now this is something, the multiverse, that a lot of people don't believe exists. We're in a universe. What does uni mean? 2. Multi means more than 2. Okay, so we've got the one thing I want to explain, what I have learned from my time living on Venus and with my education with ETs, is that a universe can be a single cell organism, or it can be billions and trillions of stars and planets all rolled into one. Okay, but what I have learned with the use of advanced technology, and if we are on the correct timeline, you guys will also experience this. You will learn about this, and it's really, really cool. Wind, go away, it's freezing. Oh my god. You can fit, with the use of technology, an entire universe in the palm of your hand, the size of a golf ball. Okay, you can take a golf ball, the size of it, and you can put an entire universe inside that golf ball, and the people, the beings in it would have no idea. You can carry that golf ball, that universe, around in your pocket. Nobody would know. No one would know. Which is probably what we are in right now. We're probably, in a ball like this size in someone's pocket, in an ET's pocket, walking around, pulling the strings, and that's who we call God or something. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible. Which in some cases is absolutely true. But with Earth, I'm not sure. I think they keep those sorts of things from Earthlings, from knowing too much. But the universe can be a single cell organism or billions and trillions of stars. Okay? So if you have one universe, or two, because universe means two, if you have two universe, doesn't even make sense, but you get my drift. If you have two of them, you can communicate between them. Okay, you can communicate between each universe. And this is where it gets interesting. Now, if you can communicate between each, which you exist, multiple yous, meaning you guys, us, not sheep, multiple of us, of everybody, exists in both. We are just having a different experience. And Doctor Strange explains all of this. You'll see it. It's a brilliant movie. We exist in both. Now, you can travel between each of them. Now, you're not meant to travel physically without the use of technology. Or rather, you can, the ETs do, but you have to be a very higher vibration. So, like 12D, higher vibration. So if you're traveling consciously, and I'm referring to us in this present moment, if you're traveling consciously between each universe will have its own concept of time, its own concept of the way they do things, their own thought processes, their own everything. They could even be completely inverted. So we see a green light to go, as in Doctor Strange, it might be a red light to go. We see writing from left to right in the English language. It might be right to left. Everything may be different. Trains you might be walking upside down, and that's normal to them. In some dimensions, some realities, many of you will walk past yourselves and not even see yourself because they go through vibration and not through sight. So it's really, really, really strange. And there is an infinite number of universes, multiverses, verses, whatever you want to call it, an infinite number. Nobody knows. Not even the higher ETs knows exactly how many multiverses there are. Okay, the number is just, it's out there. They're always discovering more and more every day, so to speak. Just like we're discovering more and more planets, more and more stars, they're discovering more and more multiverses. So when you get to the higher dimensions and you have the technology and you can portal between these multiverses, there is an element of risk that you're going to meet yourself, and your other self is not going to like it. You're not meant to meet your other self physically. Because what that will actually do, that will cause that self of you, if that self is not aware of the multiverse and traveling and all that, that can cause that other self of you to harm you or itself, which then changes everything in both universes, both multiverses and every other multiverse out there. Okay, it's like a knock-on effect, like the domino effect. If you come face to face with yourself in another universe and your other self is not aware and not open to it, then you can die in every other multiverse. I believe that's what's been explained. You can affect every other lifetime or every other incarnation in every other multiverse that you're having. Because remember, all connected. Everything's connected. So not only do you change those two incarnations by yourself and your other self, but you change every single other incarnation as well. Okay, you change the timelines, you change the outcome, you change the game. And that's something that you don't want to do. That's when real issues start happening. Okay, so only the highest of high vibrational beings get to go into the multiverse or travel through the multiverse. And there has to be a really, really good reason. Really good reason. And I do believe our governments here on Earth are aware of multiverse travelers. And I do believe that the SSP, the Secret Space Program, higher ups, do actually travel the multiverse to certain ones. Only to certain ones. And I don't know the reason for that, but I do believe that they actually do that. So it's all really interesting and really it's a mind bender. If you watch Doctor Strange, you will get it. You will get it. And like I said, watch it several times. Don't worry about the satanic symbolism and all of that. Ignore that. Ignore it. This is about your learning, your understanding, and your development. Ignore the satanic stuff. There is quite a bit of it. Ignore it and learn from it. Use it for positive instead of negative. Okay, so when you want to do, when you want to go when your mind is open and in a higher vibrational state. Don't go when you're upset or bored. Go when you're ready to have your mind opened and learn. Okay, it's like going into a class, like coming into this workshop. You don't go in drunk. Okay, you go in with an open mind and to learn. If you view watching movies with an open mind to learn, you will take in so much more. So much more. So definitely with an open mind. Okay, and yeah, see it several times and watch it when it comes out on DVD. I would go and grab it and watch it several more times, because each time you see it, you will see more of it and you will understand more of it. And of course, when you understand more, you can implement that into your daily life as we speak. Okay, so really, really good movie. Also watch the first one. Watch the first one as well. If anybody finds any other movies that speaks of the multiverse and parallel realities, multiple realities, all of that, share them in the group. I will leave this group open for 7 days. Okay, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'll just go back and look at the comments. Okay, but it's very difficult to explain because there are so many different variables on each topic about the multiverse, multiple realities, different timelines, all of that. It is so different and it's so complex. It takes a long time to understand it, and experiencing it is easier to understand than just telling it. Okay, it's something that to really get it, you have to experience. Okay, all right. Let me have a look. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. It sure does. It absolutely does. Challenge is a good thing. Yes, we need to be challenged. So we all need to let go of doubt and see the medbeds here and working with them, that we may pick that reality frequency from the universe. Absolutely. Absolutely. All I want to do is ride my horses. That's all I want to do. You know, I'm neither here nor there, but having a center is something that will give myself and my family time to create and enjoy creation, expression of creation. And that's ultimately why we are here. So let's try and manifest it by becoming the vibration of it. And those of you in the Telegram group in the Medbed room would know that I did a voice message the other day and kicked some butt from people fighting and groups fighting between each other. And it's just, how can you run a center if you can't even communicate with someone else in the same location with you that is also building a center? It's like, how can you? You can't. You won't be granted approval to run a centre if you can't even get on with somebody or don't want to communicate with somebody who's building in the next suburb? You know, so you've got to be in the vibration of what it is you want. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It really is not going to work. Doctor Strange is awesome. Absolutely. The best movie, I think, that's been made when it comes to consciousness. Thor is also another good movie. It talks about the different realities, the different worlds, how ETs influence, you know, each realm, as they call it, which is each planet, each different planet, life, etc. So Thor is another good one. I'm not looking forward to his latest movie coming out. It looks pretty stupid, but I'll go and see it anyway, just for the eye candy of it all, if you know what I mean. Doesn't it all come back? The world is what you think it is. You create your own life by thinking it into reality. I have done this many times. Absolutely. But in order for it to come back, you have to be in the vibration of it. Okay, so if you've had depression, if you've suffered depression for a long time and all of a sudden you've got out of depression, which is amazing, it's really, really good, then something triggers you and you think that's really bad. Oh my God, you know, that's horrible. You will actually send yourself back into depression because you've lowered your vibration and allowed yourself back into that reality. So it's all about, I can't stress this enough, physical life is 90% mental and 10% physical. Your thoughts and your beliefs about physical reality determines how you actually experience it, therefore creating your reality, creating your experience. A quick example of that, I had a car accident a few years ago. I was stopped at a set of traffic lights, and this young guy driving a manual just got his P's the day before, just got his license the day before, and his car jumped out of gear and hit the back of my car. It only damaged the boot just a little bit. I saw it as like, whatever, we'll send it to the repairer, no problem. It's the weekend, no drama, I'll have it back by Monday. My mum, on the other hand, was absolutely furious. She was beside herself. I can't believe this happened, and what a disaster, and all. I'm like, what's your problem? It's a dent. Get over it, you know. So while I had no problem with it, couldn't care less about it, my mum's reality was it was the end of the world. So your thoughts about your physical experience determines how you actually experience that, and that's really, really important. Okay. Strange movie, he used a dead corpse one part. Yes, he did. And this is, unfortunately, very able to happen, and the deep state does it all the time for certain underground projects. It's not nice. It's not nice, but it just shows you the technology, the level of consciousness, the abilities that we actually do have that they have kept hidden from us, and we have the ability, the conscious ability to do what Doctor Strange does all the time. We have that ability. It's just been blocked from us by the DS, so that we become less powerful and easier to control. But what Doctor Strange does is a perfect example of what we are heading towards and what we can actually do. But again, you need the understanding and you need the vibration. You need to be able to tune into what it is you're trying to create. So this would explain why smart people truly believe the 2020 election was not stolen, because in their reality it wasn't. 100% correct. 100% correct. That's the reality they've chosen. They want they want everything to be right. So in their world, it is. It is. In our world, we see through it because that is our reality. It doesn't mean ours is right and theirs is wrong, or theirs is right and ours is wrong. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that a certain portion or percentage of the collective has chosen to experience reality in a different way. Doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just different. Just different. We see what they can't, and they see what we can't. It's that simple. This is why I always say that, you should not use the term sheep and asleep simply because they're not. They're just living in a different reality. That's all. No one's asleep, no one's a sheep, no one's a follower. It's the reality they've chosen, and we have to respect their spirit of choosing a different reality to what we've chosen. And that's really important, moving forward with consciousness, respecting and understanding that not everyone is going to experience what you experience or how you experience it. It is going to be extremely different. For example, if a UFO or spaceship turned up right above me right now, I would be welcoming them and smiling. The people driving behind me will be crashing their cars and running to the hills. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going, oh, finally, where have you been? And they're going, oh my God, alien invasion, we're all going to die. So it's just the different choices in reality that you choose. And most of what you've chosen has already been chosen by your spirit before incarnating or being conceived. And a lot of it comes from the choices you make now and how you choose to see yourself and your life now. So it's all about choices. It's not about being asleep or being blind or being a sheep. It's about choices. Okay. 90s movie called Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow is based on 2 timelines. Perfect. There's another one we can have a look at. I don't think I've seen that one actually, but there's another one. Thank you. Could this be why I am forever wanting to know everything or feel that I already know how to do things? You absolutely already know everything. Remember the octopus, the 3 different octopuses, whatever. You're already constantly, all the time, connected to source energy, which knows everything. You just have to tune into that frequency in order to know it. And you can do this. It takes practice and it takes work, time and dedication, because you are in a lower vibrational environment. You've chosen to incarnate into a lower vibration experience. So it does take time and practice to do this, but you are always connected. You always know everything, and I do mean that, everything. Everything in creation you have access to, the knowledge of, at all times. You just have to tune in and find the right frequency, and that takes time, practice, and work. Okay, energy flows where attention goes, 100%. Pardon me, have a drink. People starting to come now. Don't know why, it's freezing. I guess the sun would be warmer. But anyway, there was sun when I started. Okay. So what happens if your spouse wants to experience something that you don't want, but start again. So what happens if your spouse wants to experience something that you don't want to, but you do it anyway because you want to make them happy? Does that mean you experience their reality even though you don't want to? No, it makes you experience a portion of their reality from your perception. So if your partner wants to go skydiving and you're absolutely terrified and your partner loves it, you will experience that experience in a similar way, but you will experience it very differently. So even though you're experiencing the same thing physically, your reality of it will be very different to your partner's, because your partner will be smiling and laughing and, oh wow, this is amazing, I can't believe we did this, best thing ever. Meanwhile, you're cacking your pants and crying and screaming in absolute horror because you think you're about to die. So physically, exactly the same experience. Consciously, very, very, very different. Okay, very different experience. So that is why we say your thoughts create your reality, which they literally do. Doesn't matter what's happening physically, it's your thoughts and your consciousness level that determines how you experience it. So be careful on your thoughts, because if you want to manifest something positive and wonderful, then you need to be in that higher vibrational state with those positive thoughts so that it can manifest in a positive way for you. Okay? There's no time like the present, and it is a gift. Absolutely. Horton Hears a Who was a documentary. Oh, okay. Horton Hears a Who. Okay, thank you. I haven't heard of that. The live ended. No, the live's still going. Fringe, series about parallel universes. Beautiful. Thank you. Are dreams representative of our other existences? Yes, absolutely can be. Absolutely can be, or it can be your guides or yourself communicating with you. Or it could be a demon, which I don't believe in, trying to access your thoughts to gain control of your mind. So, which is less likely. Again, with lower vibrations, and I'll just touch on this quickly, with entities and ETs in the lower vibrational field, if you are in a high vibration, they actually can't get to you. You can see them, you can feel them there, you can communicate with them, but they cannot affect you because you cannot experience what you are not the vibration of. So I'll use the 20-story building. If you're on level 15, high vibration, and a demon, lower vibrational entity, human or otherwise, is on the 5th floor, the 5th level, they can see you through the window or they can see you moving through the building, but they can't actually get to you. They can talk to you, they can call your name, they can give you information, but they cannot affect you. They cannot go up the levels to you without first going through and doing all the work from one level to another. Okay, it's really important to understand this. And you'll notice if you watch documentaries and movies about hauntings and things like that, the people that get the hauntings and get the possessions and all that, they've always got some major issues going on in their life. They're always stressed with money, or there's a health issue, or there's discord in the family, between the man and woman, between the relationships. There's always some drama that has happened before they actually get the haunting, or the ET or demon, spirit, whatever it is you want to call it. And this is because they are in that vibrational field where they can actually be affected by these lower dimensional entities. So if you're in a higher vibration, you can't be affected. You can see them, you can hear them, you can feel them, you can talk to them, but they can't affect you. Okay, and it's the same with what's going on with light workers at the moment, or being infiltrated with misinformation. If you're in a real high vibrational state, you can't be infiltrated. You can get the information, but you're not going to resonate with it because it comes from a lower vibrational field. Okay, so yeah, dreams can be representatives of your other existences, and you can actually tune in when you are in the dream state. You can tune in to your other lifetimes and experience that, and you wake up and think, oh my God, I had a wonderful dream last night, when in fact it's not a dream. And Doctor Strange touches on that again as well. Can we get past 5D while living on Earth? Absolutely you can. Okay, I believe you can go up to the 12th dimensional consciousness, but you don't have the physical spiritual gifts that goes with it. You just have the consciousness. I've tuned into 12D many times. Amazing, holy crap. There's no words to describe what that feels like. It's just wow. Absolutely wow. You need to have a higher density body, physical body, to have the physical gifts that go, physical spiritual gifts that goes with the higher dimensional consciousness. So you need a lot of upgrades, and you need to be at least 4th density of physical, which will give you a minimum of 5th dimensional consciousness. Okay, so 4th density doesn't go below 5th dimensional consciousness. So you can actually get way past 5D while living on Earth. It takes time and practice, and you have to do the work. This is not something that you just take some mushrooms or DMT or something and you go, oh wow, I'm in 12D, I'm fantastic, or I'm in 6D or 7D. In order to implement the higher dimensions, you need to do the work. It is an everyday, every moment thing. It's not I take something and I'm there, and now I'm all this. Nothing like that. There's no shortcuts in this. You can get glimpses and small experiences, samples of what it's like, but that's it. Without the work, you don't go any further. You just have those memories of those experiences. Okay. Okay. What is the technology to travel between the multiverse? Thoughts on metaverse trap for the consciousness? I have no idea what the technology is. Again, I've lived on Venus many times and I would know it. I know that I've traveled the multiverse many times, but when I've lived on Venus in this lifetime, it's been blocked from my knowledge completely, and I think rightfully so, because I know I'm not ready for that ability yet, or that knowledge. I still got a long way to go before I get there. So that's only given to the highest of high and those who's ready. Okay. The metaverse, trap for consciousness. Everything is a trap if you believe it. If you look, there's many different things out there. There would be some traps, of course, but again, you are everything, so you're never fully trapped, because you literally are creation itself. So if you do find yourself or your consciousness trapped somewhere, that's when you use your consciousness to get you out of it. Okay, nothing can keep you in, because you are everything and everywhere, and you are creation itself. Therefore, nothing can keep you in long term. May keep you in for a day or half an hour or 5 months or 10 years, but you are consciousness. You can get yourself out of anything, literally anything. Okay, even the metaverse. Okay, I find it all extremely fascinating and want to learn. Good. I just googled Doctor Strange. Is it the 1 or 2? I would, if you haven't seen 1, I would see 1 first, so you get the idea. The second one, the newest one that's out at the movies, is the one that really goes into detail about the multiverse and timelines and realities and all of that. So if you haven't seen 1, go and see it, and then go and see 2. 2 is really, really good, but I think you do need to see 1 before seeing 2, if you haven't already. Okay, this is fascinating. You're doing a great job of explaining. Oh, thank you. I have random people, for example, who I might bump into at the supermarket, ask me if they know me. Is that another incarnation of my soul? It absolutely could be. 100% could be. Or it could be that their soul recognizes your soul, and you have that that recognition of the vibrational frequencies of souls. So it could be another you having another incarnation. Absolutely, 100%. Lara Croft in the Cradle of Love at the end of the movie, when she is in the tunnel and all the stairs. I haven't seen Lara Croft. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's kind of not my thing. I like the more blood and murder and body parts flying through the air in horrors and hauntings that scare the crap out of people. I'm a sadist. I love it. Here we go. I have similar people who do not know me tell me their deepest struggles. Freaks out my family. Happens often. Yep. I was just thinking Thor and eye candy. What's a bit of eye candy to start the day? It's always a good thing. Would you say changing your timeline is changing your destiny? Your destiny will remain no matter what timeline you're on. Your destiny is something that you can't get away from, and it doesn't matter if you reach your destiny in this lifetime or the next. It will always happen no matter what choices you make. You will meet there. You'll be there when you need to. But yeah, you can change your timeline at any time that you want with enough focus. When I was a kid, I was very different from my peers for the most part. I used to think, am I really human? Exactly. A lot of people who has come here, or a lot of souls who has come here for the Great Awakening or dismantling of the Matrix, they have, when you're born into a third dimensional environment, we lose a lot of our memories, and because of social conditioning and other things, we lose a lot of our connection and our memories. And a lot of us who's born here for the Great Awakening has kept all of our memories and all of our knowledge and things like that. We just don't have access to it yet because we're not ready for it yet. We've got other things to learn from. So yeah, a lot of kids is wondering, am I human? What am I doing here? It's because when you're young, you're closer to your higher self. You're closer to source, without all the social conditioning. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Back to the Future films. I was never one to watch them, but yes, they do look very interesting, and I have heard from other people that they're great. Do you know how we can open our pineal gland? By raising your vibration and being ready for it. Okay, being ready for it. It's opening your third eye is not something you want to do in a rush. Because you want to be able, when it does open, to fully understand what you're seeing, and you want to have a good experience with it. You don't want to go, holy crap, I'm not ready for this. Oh, how do I close it now? I've met many people who have rushed into it and who have suffered a lot because of it. So raising your vibration, learning about higher consciousness, learning about how spirit works, doing lots of meditation or meditative practices that you possibly can, spending time in nature. You want to do it naturally, not artificially, because if it's artificial, then you're not ready, and it's not going to last or benefit you. So continue on your spiritual development, and it will open naturally when you're ready, and when it does, you will appreciate it and you will enjoy it. Okay. Alright, I often have a strong sense of knowing but can't explain how or why. If my family asks questions to confirm or back it up, I have trouble communicating this. I just have a calmness and faith that I'm on the right track and I'm not alone. Yeah, that's because your spirit is giving you information all the time, and you're like I said before, you're constantly tuned in and connected to your higher self. So this is where the information comes from. You're always connected. You're never not connected. Even when you don't know you're connected. Okay, so just take it as your spirit communicating, the universe communicating with you and giving you information. Always use discernment. If it feels right, then it probably is. If it doesn't feel right or something feels off, then turn around and walk away. Pardon me, because that's your guidance system saying, hey, this is not for you. Doesn't mean it's not true. It means it's not for you at that time. Okay, not for you at that time. But if it feels right and feels good and resonates, then perfect. That's what it is. When I was a kid, I used to see dark entities. Definitely affected me, extremely scary. Was I in a low frequency? No, you were open. You were open. Children are open. They haven't learnt to close it. That's why children often see and experience lower dimensional entities and beings, simply because they're so open to source that they have not learnt to control it yet. That's all. Doesn't mean you're in a low vibration. Okay, just means that you didn't learn to control it yet, and they took advantage. Okay. All right. One more. What is the work to raise body to 4th density, 5D consciousness? Yes. Okay. That is if you're living in 5D and going towards 5D and less in 3D, then you're raising your DNA. But because our DNA has been purposefully cut off from us, we need like a solar flash or medbed or healing from ETs, pardon me, ETs or something to actually restore our DNA. That will put you into 4th density. So 4th density, we're talking, I believe Bashar is 4th density. Don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure. I think he is. The Inner Earth people, I can't remember their name, Corey Good talks about them, the Anshar, they're 4th density. Some of the Venusians are 4th density. Most of them are 5th density, and the higher ones are 6th density. So you want to, if you wanted to be in a 4th density body right now, you would actually have to change bodies and have a soul transfer into a body that's already in fourth density. Okay, if you were not going to have the work done on your body, you would actually have to change your body to go up, simply because the deep state has kept us purposefully in a low density body, so we cannot go up. Okay. Is density similar to soul contract? No, density is the vibrational frequency of your physical body. Dimension is the vibrational frequency of your consciousness. Okay? So density is very different. Density is to do with the physical body. Dimension is to do with the mental, okay, with the consciousness. Okay, both vibrational frequencies, just referring to something different. Okay, all right. Well, there's another workshop done. So thank you so much to everybody who attended today, and our next one will be on June 19th. Exactly the same setup. I like Facebook in a group so that I can communicate with people before, during, and after, which other platforms don't give that opportunity. So the next one will be about extraterrestrials, space travel, life on Venus, secret space program, those sorts of different things. And yeah, so thank you so much. I hope you understand it, and you've got a better idea to move forward. And go back and watch it again and again and again if you want. Take notes and whatever. I will, when I get back to the motel, I will download both parts of this workshop, and I will upload them to YouTube privately, and I will put the links to both of them when they're both uploaded in this group. I will also email them out. A lot of people don't receive my emails. I've no idea why, but I will send them email on Telegram from tomorrow, and Facebook Messenger, brain blank. If you want them on there as well, send me a message and I'll send them to you through those two platforms as well privately. So it'll be in this group, it'll be Telegram, Facebook Messenger, and email. Okay, and you can keep those links. Those links will not expire, they're permanent. Just because of copyright, just don't share them, sell them, upload them, or any of the content or anything like that. Just keep them for yourselves. Okay, so I'll do that this afternoon and get that going, and yeah, we'll see you at the next workshop. Alright, thanks everyone, bye.